this was completely designed using V0, right? So how did we do that? So you can, of course, design full landing pages. Not only that, you can design simple components also. So let's say I want a component or a card which looks something like this. What I can do is I can just click a picture of this. So I can just, ideally, it's better if you could open a new chat window, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So let's say this is the component I am using for course schedule. Add this component to the landing page. So I didn't have to describe it anything. I just took a screenshot in front of you, and I'm just asking it to integrate this component into UI. To share some of the learnings that we had while building our own websites using AI. So you will get both perspectives. So what are some of the basics that you can use to build websites using AI? And we actively build and operate multiple websites. So we will also share some details as to how you can use those learnings in your own website or app development journey. So having said that, I'll just start sharing my screen and quickly talk about our introduction, and then I'll proceed to the topic that we'll be talking about. I actually wanted to call this session 10x developer productivity with generative AI. So the thing is, how much ever, let's say if you are a developer today, you can use generative AI to easily become 10 times more productive. So that is the use case. And even for the people who are not very proficient with coding in general, they can also get a big head start if they're using generative AI. So I will also share some apps that you can build without knowing to code anything. And we will also show some use case where we'll actually take our current understanding of how much ever coding we know, and we'll try to build upon that one. So yeah, this will be our session today. So what we'll mainly try to do is we'll try to create a landing page website, a simple landing page website. And then what we will do is we'll just create a landing page directly. We'll create a generative AI app. Maybe we can create some sort of a chat bot or maybe quiz app or something. We'll try to create something like that. Okay, so having said that, so let me just quickly introduce myself since most of you in the session might be attending our session for the first time. So I'll just quickly introduce myself as well. So first of all, my name is Satvik. I'm the founder of Build Fast with AI. So Build Fast with AI is an organization that helps individuals and companies leverage generative AI and move faster with this new age technology. Talking about my background, specifically, I got my education from this college called IIT Delhi, so where I did both my bachelor's and master's. After my education at IIT Delhi, I went on to work for a couple of corporates in data science in different roles. But while I was still at IIT, I was always passionate about education, and during my college days, third year of my college, I started my own NGO in education sector. So my interest for teaching and everything around education primarily stems from my experiences that I had during my first startup during college. So after college, as mentioned before, so I went on to work for a couple of multinational banks at various different capacities. And for the last 1.5, 2 years, I am running Build Fast with AI. So Build Fast with AI is an organization, as I mentioned, that helps individuals and companies leverage generative AI. So at Build Fast with AI, we do a lot of stuff, starting from consulting to workshops to courses. We run a very large community. So we are a community of more than 15,000 members across channels as of today. We have organized more than 100 plus events and workshops in generative AI. And me and our team collectively have built more than 150 plus AI applications. So apps ranging from simple POCs to applications that now are being used by lakhs of people. So this is what we do at Build Fast with AI primarily. We help people convert their AI ideas to reality, be it corporates or individuals. We have something for you. And one of our flagship offerings that we have for individuals is the course that we are running. So we are running a 6 week long generative AI bootcamp. So that is starting from next Saturday, which is 9th of November. So we will give you some additional extra discount as well. If you stay till the end, I'll show you some uh, how you can get discount for this course and how you can sign up. And we will also give you Diwali discounts going forward. So there are many chatbots. So, but what we will try to do is first let us try to create a landing page using AI, and then I will show you how you can create some complicated application like a quiz app or a chatbot or something. So how you can create something that we will deal with. So to create chatbots as of today, so there are many different ways that you can do. Uh, the more One of the most popular tool as of today for designing UI and websites is called v0.dev. So let me show you that link and show you how that works. So I'm going to this link called v0.dev. So this will help you create interfaces or landing pages just with a simple prompt. So let's say I want to create a landing page for the course that we are offering, right? So what I can do is I can just say generate a landing page for generative AI bootcamp offered by Build Fast with AI. So we can say we can give some more details also. So the details are go something like this. It's a 6 week long course. Go from let's say 0 to 1 in generative AI. Build 10 plus practical projects. So let's say this is I could add more description, I could give more details, but let's say these are some of the core points. So I wanted to create a landing page for generative AI bootcamp offered by Build Fast with AI, which is a 6 week long course. This thing I can also add a date. So let's say starting from 9th November 2024. So let me see if we can get a good landing page from this page or not. So basically what happens is whenever you give it a query, uh, uh, the bot will start writing code in React. So React is a framework for developing websites. So it will just use the content that you have given, and it will just create some components. So these are all website components. You might see that it's not simple slides that it is creating. So it's actually writing some code that you can use it in your project if you want to. Yeah, but you can see that UI is also being streamed. So whenever I gave it some prompt, it's starting to work on the entire website. So it will take a couple of minutes and we will have our landing page ready. So enroll for November 9th, 2024. And yeah, early bird discount also ends soon. So as you have seen, we have decent enough landing page, right? So if you wanted to create a landing page or a website, you don't have to hustle for it any longer. Just give the basic details of what you want, and you will get the you will get the landing page as it is. But one thing that I've noticed is, okay, even though that this captures some basic information, I feel that this website is very basic. And if you look at our main website, main Build Fast with AI website, so our colors are not the same, right? So we actually have this dark and bluish background where we have different other features. So, but yeah, white is not really the color that we use. So let's say I want the website or landing page to be designed in let's say bluish colors, right? A bluish theme has to be there with different font size. So let's say change the theme to blue. Change the theme to blue, and let's say I also wanted to add a contact us page. So let's say add a contact us page. So let's say if you want to contact us for, let's say, course registration or something, you can, let's say, reach out to me, or maybe you can reach out to Sakshi. So let me just say that and write this one. So we just added this. So I'm just telling, so change the color to blue and add a contact us page where you need to add these two emails there. So let me run this. So as you can see, the color is also changed, right? So yeah, I could have given more. I just asked it to change the theme to blue, but it has used blue for sure. But I could have given it a better prompt to do that. But as you can see, within few minutes of time, so I just had an idea that okay, let me create a landing page for a website, and I just have the website directly ready. So go from 0 to 1 in generative AI, build 10 practical projects. Let's say we can build AI chatbot, image generator, predictive analytics, and these are all the things that you could get. So these are some things that you could do directly within the website. But not only can you design a landing page, you can also design a lot of different components also, right? So this is how you can leverage the this particular pod to create landing page. But not only landing page, you can also create a lot of different things from it. So let's say whenever you let's say if you go to our website, so I'll give you an example. So whatever we have, whatever bot that you see, right? This was completely designed using V0, right? So how did we do that? So you can, of course, design full landing pages. Not only that, you can design simple components also. So let's say I want a component or a card which looks something like this, right? So this looks currently like this. And I want to visualize if it didn't had a light background, what if it had a dark background and white font, right? I want to design a component and see how good it looks on the website. And if it looks good or not, I want to change it. So what I can do is I can just click a picture of this. So I can just, ideally, it's better if you could open a new chat window, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So let's say this is the component I am using for course schedule. Add this component to the landing page. So I didn't have to describe it anything. I just took a screenshot in front of you, and I'm just asking it to integrate this component into UI. As you can see, we were able to create a simple component. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to check if how this component looks if it had a black background. So as simple as that. It's just a chat interface where you can chat with your design, develop some cool stuff with this. Okay, it didn't get the, acha, it's actually made the background black if you can see. Earlier it was probably a little bit different. You see that earlier the background was a little bit different. And yeah, again, like we didn't give it a very simple prompt. So it has changed the background to black, which is again good. So this is how you can take any component and try to design that. Let's say if you want to design a form for collecting some information, if you want to create a landing page, or maybe if you want to create some different applications on top of it, you can just give it a simple command, and one after the other, you can just use that to develop any app that you want. So any questions or queries on this so far? Okay, great. So as you have just seen, so creating a landing page was very simple, right? So we just use one of the tools that I've shown here, and you could just do it as it is. And I'll give you one alternate tool also. So we will share the alternate tool list at the end as well. But let's say if you want, uh, let's say V0, I think few people are also asking on the question whether it is free or not. So V0 supports at least like 10, 15 fee queries a day. And after that, you will have to do a paid subscription. But yeah, so this is one more app called Llama Coder. Uh, in this app, this is completely free to use. So what you can do is you can do the same thing. You can give the same command, but earlier that model uses a different LLM, and you can see in this app it actually uses a Llama model. So this website is most likely using Claude model, Claude 3.5 Sonnet model, which we don't know exactly because V0 as a company is using some model in the backend. But this is again an open source model that this company called Together has put out this application. So I can just ask it, I'm giving the same information to this application, and we can just compare the quality of outputs that we are getting from both of the apps. So you see that this has created a very basic app, right? And you can also chat with the design. So that's the difference. So you could use this free version also, but for free version, you will have to do a lot more prompt engineering than you otherwise need to do in V0 or other websites. So let us do one push to see if it can create good design or not. Create a full landing page with different sections. As you could see, it has improved it a bit, but yeah, it's not very ideal. So if you are like, if you want a good design right out of the back, then use V0. But if you are just testing out and using this, then this is also good. But generally, I would suggest, let's say if you are using this free alternatives, it's generally better if you write the prompt in very much detail. So let's say for V0, they have these models and structure which is completely tuned towards generating websites. So even if you mention just a single paragraph, it is able to understand. But if you want to get similar sort of outputs from something like Llama Coder or a few other tools that I'll show you, so it is better if you can write a good enough prompt to explain the model exactly what you want and give it all the content you want. Then you are likely to find better results with that. So one thing about Llama Coder is that it's very easy to publish the app also. So what you can do is you can just click on this publish app and you will get a link. So this is the link that you have, and I can share it with anyone. So I'm just sharing it on the chat. So you can also go ahead and look at it as to how that works. So yeah, so this is the first part where I wanted to show you how you can create some very simple components and how you can design simple landing pages. But very often you create some applications that are a little bit more complex, right? So let's say there are these few applications that I have created very recently. And I think in the very last session, where we developed a fitness app. So we created the entire app just using the code, just using bot. So let me show you some of the websites that we developed from scratch using that, and I will also break down as to how you can develop something of that sort by your own. So this is one of the app that we created where you could just create quiz directly with the AI. And this is also a personal health assistant that we have created just in the last Sunday's lecture. So I primarily focused on the backend part as to how you can create different APIs. Maybe in this lecture, I can show you how I have created the interface for this from start, right? So one easiest thing that you could do uh, is to create the interface first. So I'll just tell you the process of creating a website from scratch using AI. One easiest option I'll just quickly show is Bolt.new. And starting from there, I will also show you how you can iterate and build better apps on top of them. So let's say this is the app that I want to create using Bolt. And as you can see, this is the link that you can try it out right now. So this is a shareable link. But let's say if you want to start developing this app from scratch, how can you do that? So you can use Bolt.new. This is a relatively new tool on the market, and which is one of the excellent tools for creating websites. And it actually supports a lot of different frameworks. So it's not a no code website where it's just creating some drag and drop components. So whenever you ask it to create something, it is actually writing a production ready code based on a very standard framework like Next.js. So the Claude bot that you have seen is built on Next.js. ChatGPT is actually built on Next.js initially, and then it was migrated to Remix. So it's not just about creating some simple apps. So the apps that you are getting are the production ready apps that you can use it in different ways. So let's say I want to create this fitness app using Bolt. How can I do that? And it also works very simply. You can just give it some simple prompts to start with. You can say key create a fitness AI assistant app. It should have tabs for, let's say, nutrition, workout planning, and posture correction. So these are the different apps that I had in this as well, as you can see. I'm just asking it to do that. So create a fitness AI assistant app. It should have tabs for nutrition, workout planning, and posture connection. And the header section should say your personal AI assistant. Use black and white colors with light backgrounds. Okay, so this is the prompt that I will give it, and let me see what is the output that we can get from this. So as you can see, it is not just creating. So whatever tools that we have seen here, like V0 or Llama Coder, they generally created a single file. So if you look at it again, uh, okay, they created just a single file, a landing page.tsx. So this is all the code that they have written. And let's say if you want to use this design in your code, so you will have to do the rest of the work in terms of how you put these components together to create a website. So that is something that you will have to be worried about if you are using V0. And again, if you are a developer who has been using this framework, this is something that you will really appreciate, because even though it requires an additional step of you taking this component and adding in your project, Ideally, it saves developers some hundreds of hours, starting with designing to integration to all those things. So it's generally a lot of time saved in any case. So that being said, let me go back to Bolt again and see what is the status of the app. So you see that this is not working. So we have given it some command and it's not working. So generally it happens that whenever you're using these AI tools, so sometimes there might be some error because of which you're not able to see. So at that time, what should you do? You can just ask the bot. So there might be some error. I am not able to see anything on the landing page. So yeah, like let's say even I am new to this framework, let's say. So even I don't know what is happening. I'm just giving it a prompt. Okay, I gave it something. It's not working. I just told that it is not working. Okay, while this open, so let's try a simple app. So I'm asking it to create a chatbot interface, minimalistic with rainbow colors. So, but yeah, the idea is the benefits of using Bolt is that instead of just writing a single file and you having to worry about the rest, the best part is you can just ask the bot to, okay, yeah, we have the app. I think probably it's taking some time. So maybe it's just a lack of patience that I had. Okay. As you can see, this is the chatbot that it has created. So it has created a assistant. So I asked it to create a chat interface, minimalistic with rainbow colors. So this is what it came up with. And you can see the button is also displayed in rainbow colors in this as well. You can then say hi. It's telling I'm a demo chatbot, right? So currently it's not connected to any model or something. So it's just giving a default response every time you're telling something. But ideally, what we could do is we could take an language model API. So we could take a GPT model and link it to the bot. So whenever you're saying hi, instead of giving you a standard response every time, so a GPT model can analyze your message and give you the message directly. So how can we do that? So let me show you that. But I think given the time frame, I'll just take the app that I've already created and show you a demo on that. So this is the code that Bolt has created earlier. So with the fitness app that I've shown you, so this is how the end code looks like. So what I've done is whatever code that I got from Bolt, so I've just downloaded it on my local system, and any other changes that I'm going to make, I'm just making changes directly within my own editor. So let me show you how you can make those changes starting from this. So this is the fitness app that I've just shown you a while back. So let's say if I want to make some changes to the app or maybe add some changes to the backend or front end, how can I do? So that is what I'm going to show you right now. Okay, this is the app. As you can see, this is running on my local host. And you can see that whenever I click on this, let's say nutrition button, so I'm able to use something like this, right? So I can just give it some daily calories and just generate a plan. But now let's say this is the code that I got from Bolt right away. And now I want to make a lot of changes on it, right? So let's say whenever you're creating an application, so as mentioned, so the first stage is prototyping. Second stage is development and maintenance, right? So if you want to maintain this website, so there will be some regular changes that you might want to do on a daily basis, right, or a weekly basis. So the first change that I want to do is, as mentioned, uh, Build Fast today primarily uses blue colors, right? So since this is the website that we have built, so I just wanted to have some blue colors here and there. So what I'm thinking is, so whatever is the button that you are seeing on the top, join a bootcamp button. So instead of black color and white, so let's say I wanted to change to blue color. Ideally, if you were to do this without code, what you will need to do is you will have to look at the component. So let's say you will have to go to the page file. You will have to see which component it is picking. So select that component that you want. And again, you will have to search which component that you have to do and make change one by one, which is again very cumbersome, right? So now one easiest method to do that is using AI. So most of the website or anything that we have developed, we didn't write a single line of code. So even for making changes to the website, you don't need to do that. So I'll show you how you can do that. So this is the header component or maybe a navigation pane that we have. So let's say I want to change the color of the this particular button to blue. So the only thing that I need to do is to give a simple command, nothing else. So what I'll do is I'll just press Command I. I'm using a tool called Cursor, in which they have this feature where you can chat with your repository directly. And let me add some reference files too. And I'll say change the color of join AI bootcamp button to dark. So I didn't write any code. I just opened the chatbot and I'm just asking it to use whatever I want. So I'm just saving whatever it has given and let me change it. So I just wanted it a blue color and you see that within a second it has given this, right? And one more thing that I want to do is, let's say the features are displayed in the corner, which I don't like. Let's say I want the features to be displayed right in the center. So how can I do that? Move the buttons on navigation pane to the center. Okay, it's asking me to check my internet connection. Okay, now it's working. It'll take a couple of seconds and we will have the changes done. So let me save. As you can see that the buttons have moved to the bottom. Let's say if you are someone who is developing websites, or let's say you're a founder or maybe you're a product manager who wants some changes to be done in your website, so you don't have to bug your developers. Okay, like move this button like this, change this colors. So whatever basic changes are there, you can just do it yourself, right? And of course, be sure not to change the backend as you wish, but as long as you're doing it, as long as you understand what is happening, at least on a superficial level, you are good to go. You can change this, make changes to UI and do something like that. And now I'll just show you one last thing. What you can do is, let's say I want to add a calendar app, calendar in this particular part. Let's say on the below the supercharge your AI skills, I just want to add a calendar somewhere so that people can see that the course is starting on November 9th or something. So let me go there and let me give it a command saying add a calendar component. So I can tell which component that I want to add. I can just say shared CN calendar component to the bottom of the landing page. And what you can do is you can also choose, let's say, if you're not sure it might create a good calendar application or not. What you can do is you can give it a link also. So let's say I want a calendar component. So this is the calendar component that I want in my folder. So I can just copy this link from the internet. And whenever am giving the command to cursor, I can just say, uh, I want you to add a calendar component on the landing page. And this is where you can find the relevant code. So let me run this. So let us see if it has added or not to our website. You see that it has not made any changes. So it's asking us, you will have to install this. So let me install this first. So the thing is, you don't need to know a lot of coding, but it certainly helps if you have a basic idea of what these components are or how you can deal with them. So let's say, as you can see that we are getting an error. So I can just copy paste the error that I'm getting. And sometimes you want it to be connected to internet. So just say at web. So it is searching the web to understand what is the problem. Okay, there is some issue. Okay, so the thing is, I'll just have to do a couple of installations, as you can see. So yeah, so the installation is the mistake in this. So yeah, so getting a basic app up and ready is very easy, right? So let's say using Bolt or maybe using any website, uh, just giving it an idea and getting the first version is very easy. But if you want some changes like this, let's say I've mentioned, okay, I want a calendar to be displayed somewhere here. You will just ask the model to do it, you will face some error. So most of the time you will need to understand some of the basics of the framework also. So for every small issue, you would not want to use AI to debug it. So instead of, let's say if you learn a concept for 1 hour and you can probably do it for 10 minutes. If you don't know the concept at all, you will just spend half an hour or 1 hour with AI and with nowhere to go. You will just end up in a lot of confusion. So it's generally essential that you have a balance of both. So just because you have access to AI doesn't mean that you don't have to learn coding at all, and vice versa. Just because you know coding and you are very proficient with it doesn't mean that you will not use AI. So you'll need to find a like right balance where you have knowledge of some AI skills as well as coding skills, and that is when you can do the development as fast as possible. Okay, now let me install the calendar component. I think this should work now. Okay, so the thing is, so let me just solve this issue once and for all. So the issue that we are facing is we are not able to install the library directly. Okay, there is some error in this, but yeah, like I think it will take 5-10 minutes for me to debug it anyway. But yeah, you get the point. So what you can do is you can just design something basic, like a uh, landing page using websites like uh, B0, Llama Coder, Fragments, and Bolt.new. And once you do the basic development and all, then you can move that to the second phase, which is put it in your IDE and use some AI features on top of it, where you can do some simple changes like changing the colors, like moving the components around and all. You can also make a lot of backend changes also. But to make backend changes, you will need to have a little more understanding of the framework, because most of the times AI, it's already good that it will understand most of the times. But let's say just like in the case that I have shown you, generally it doesn't throw any errors like this, but in case if it throws, you should be able to triage it. So that is the idea. And yeah, for the first time, I think for anyone, it will take a lot of time to understand this and be able to do that from start. So yeah, this is how you can create websites using AI. what we have seen so far is we have created a simple landing page using v0.dev. We have also used Llama Coder. And I've also shown you how you can take an existing website and you can use Cursor or Bolt.new and make some changes to it. So as mentioned, like we know that generative AI is again one of the most important skills that you could gain in this day and age. So as mentioned at Buildfast today, we have been conducting boot camps and courses in generative AI for the past 18 months now. And we like from Feb of this year, we were running our own 4 week long crash course. So from this month onwards, we have launched a new version of the course. So instead of the 4 week course that we are offering, so we have now launched a 6 week long intensive course that will help you get your fundamentals strong within generative AI. So it is actually starting from November 9th, which is next Saturday. So what are the things that you can learn from the course? So one thing that I've noted, like we've been working in generative AI space for the past 1.5, 2 years. And one thing that I've noticed is that, so even though it looks like there is too much happening in generative AI, and it is also true that there is too much happening in generative AI, if you look at it very closely, so there are only 4 or 5 concepts that dominate 90% of generative AI. Let's say something like prompt engineering, something like using simple LLMs, or maybe creating RAG chatbots, creating something like a GPT clone, and something like fine tuning, where you can create a model that writes like you, a voice cloning assistant, so on. And you can also see different parts related to agents, code development, and other stuff with it. So yeah, like when you talk about generative AI, even though there is too much happening in generative AI, there are mainly 4 or 5 things that are mainly there. So prompt engineering is one thing, using LLM APIs is one thing, multimodal models, image models, audio models are one thing, fine tuning is one, RAG is one, and agents. So these are 3, 4 topics. Let's say these are 5, 6 topics that cover 90% of generative AI applications as of today. So what we have done in our course is that, so we have created these 6 modules. So where our focus is, in every module, you will learn a core concept of generative AI. Right. So by the end of this course, the idea is you will get an idea of how any generative AI application generally works. And not only that, we have live projects in every lecture. As you can see, we have for at least 3 live projects in every section. So these are the projects where you can build your own website, where you can build your own chatbots and all. So all the live projects and videos will also be covered during this. So this is the basic overview of the course. And as mentioned, the course is starting on the 9th of November. And for the people who are signing up for our cohort, we are offering $250 in free credits from our partners at Portkey and Jarvis Labs, where you will be getting some GPU credits and LLM credits that you can use for your personal projects. You are getting 6 week long content along with all the video modules, live projects, live sessions, and everything. And this could be a great first step for you to get started in your generative AI journey. So how can you sign up, right? So if you are interested in knowing more about the course, or if you want the promo code to get that discount, you can just say hi on the chat, and our team will reach out to you for more details, and we will help you get sign up for the course.